that, let's move on to one more Andy Cohen story. I know we just talked about his response about everything, but now I want to talk about him being, quote, cleared of Bravo's internal investigation and how Watch What Happens Live has been renewed through 2025. And I want to talk about what I think is really going on here, okay? So again, this is from Reality Blurb, and it's basically summarizing the Hollywood Reporter article around this, but I'm going to break down what I think is really going on. So Bravo has closed its investigation into potential sexual harassment and drug use by Andy Cohen, stating the claims that Brandi Glanville and Leah McSweeney brought against him earlier this year were found to be, quote, unsubstantiated. Just as Watch What Happens Live was renewed through 2025, Andy was deemed innocent of the accusations Brandi made against him in February, at which time she suggested he had invited her to watch him have sex with Below Deck's Kate Chastain, and claims Leah made in her lawsuit against him and Bravo. I'm just going to come out and say it. Bravo and NBC, in my opinion, they're clearly just protecting Andy, not because, and again, I'll say my opinion, he's actually innocent of these claims, but because it's mutually assured destruction. Bravo and NBC are also being sued. If they come out and say, oh, by the by, everybody, we did an internal investigation into Andy Cohen, and it turns out there is racism, there is sexual harassment, there is drug use, there is blah, 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 that makes them liable, because it's not like Andy Cohen is doing this in a vacuum. He's doing this as an executive, as a boss of the people who are suing them, which makes the company NBC Universal legally liable for the actions of Andy Cohen. So of course they're going to come out with this little bogus internal investigation, in my opinion, and clear him, because by clearing him, they clear themselves. And because these lawsuits, I believe, are still active, of course they're not going to come out and say what they found. I think it's very telling. I don't know if this is how they always do it, but I think it's very telling that Watch What Happens Live was only renewed for 1 year. We are halfway through 2024. This is saying Watch What Happens Live is renewed through 2025. Don't they usually renew things for, like, it's like a 3-year renewal, a 4-year renewal, a 5-year renewal for talk shows? That's what I thought. I could be wrong on that. I don't know if they do year by year with Watch What Happens Live or talk shows like that. I know they do it for like a TV show, but I always thought that, like, for talk shows, like when Wendy Williams, right? Remember when she was like, we're renewed to like 2020 something. And it was like, yeah, she got like a 5-year renewal or whatever the case is. I always thought that's how they did it, but I could be wrong. But to me, Bravo renewing Watch What Happens Live to 2025 doesn't clear Andy Cohen of anything. It just means that Bravo and NBC are covering themselves. Because if they were to come out and be like, yeah, we found some inappropriate stuff, we found some stuff going on, then they would probably have to pay up and cough up the big bucks. And who did this internal investigation? Is it their own HR team? You know what I mean? Who investigated this? Who investigated this? The outside investigation into the recent allegations made by Brandi Glanville and Leah McSweeney against Andy Cohen has now been completed, and the claims were found to be unsubstantiated, a Bravo spokesperson told Page 6 on May 9th. In February, after Brandi, formerly of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, targeted Andy with a legal threat, stating that his alleged proposal was an extraordinary abuse of power, sorry, Andy defended himself on Twitter, insisting that his comments was an inappropriate joke. Okay. How is it then an investigation says that the allegations are unsubstantiated when Andy Cohen himself said it was inappropriate what he did? How are both things true? How did this investigation say that your claims are wrong, but Andy Cohen publicly came out and said, yeah, I did it and it was inappropriate, but it was just a joke? Excuse me? Am I, like, is the problem me? Like, I'm confused. How are the claims unsubstantiated when Andy Cohen himself said, yes, this did happen and it was inappropriate, but whatever, kiki, ha ha, I was just joking. Ridiculous. Weeks later, after the Real Housewives of New York City alum accused him of offering nose candy, to his favored Real Housewives, whom he would then give special treatment, and suggested he and the network preyed on her addiction to alcohol for ratings and ignored sexually predatory behavior, Andy denied any such thing via his rep. The claims against Andy are completely false, the rep stated. On the heels of news of Andy's investigation having been completed, Leah's attorney, Gary Aldman, told Page Six, "This is perfect timing. One line so they can repeat it to all of the advertisers at the upfronts. How do you have an investigation without speaking to anyone? As far as we know, no one ever contacted our firm." Now listen. Even though I personally don't agree with Leah's lawsuit, I do think she's only suing because it's Mad Day and she wants a settlement. And I think that if Bravo had brought her back, she would not be suing. I do agree with the attorney. How do you have a reputable, believable, valid investigation without investigating? You see? So to me, this is just another big cover up. And I also agree it is perfect timing. Upfronts is like a big time for like TV. It's when they go and they show all the advertisers which is how they make their money, is through advertising. They can say, "Oh no, we did an investigation. Andy Cohen's cleared. In fact, we're renewing his show for 2025. All is good. Keep giving us your money. Keep giving us your money. Keep giving us your money." So they have not only the legal incentive to, quote, clear Andy Cohen, they also have a monetary incentive to clear Andy Cohen because they don't want advertisers to bulk and take away their money from the network. My prediction is, I think in 2026, I think by 2026, Andy Cohen will no longer be he will no longer be the daddy of the housewives. Whether or not they let him keep Watch What Happens Live, maybe, maybe not. I don't think he's going to have a huge presence at BravoCon anymore. I think that this is the beginning of phasing him out after they get through the hurdle of all of the lawsuits, because there's multiple lawsuits. I think once all of them are either dismissed or settled, once all that's cleared up, I think that's when they're going to phase out Andy. And that's when they're going to cut ties with him more. But at this point, they have to save face with him from a legal standpoint and also a monetary standpoint. So do I believe that they investigated him in any real way? No. Do I believe all of the allegations against him, in my opinion? No. Do I believe some of the allegations against him? Yes, he's admitted it himself. Yeah, I did that. Yeah, I said that, but it was a joke. And also the allegations against him, these aren't particularly new allegations. We've had multiple people have these same allegations against him. Do I think Andy Cohen has his favorites? Yes, we see it. So that's kind of where I land on it. So, and her attorney continues to say, "We look forward to reviewing all of the interviews, evidence, and final reports of the investigation that NBC Universal conducted when we received them during the discovery phase of the lawsuit," he added. Gary Aldman also spoke to Deadline saying, "Our opinion is that no one is going to believe this was a real investigation." That part. Meanwhile, in his own statement, Brandy's attorney, Brian Friedman, declared, "I am looking forward to reviewing the details of the report from the independent investigation. Since there was no finding of wrongdoing, there, of course, would be no need to hide or otherwise bury the findings." NBC did not speak with the complaining witnesses, he added. How is that an investigation? Exactly. Following the filing of Leah's lawsuit earlier this year, Andy's attorneys at Gibson Dunn threatened to take legal action against her and demanded she offer an apology. Months later, Leah has yet to do so and has taken no further action against her. And he has taken no further action against her. Of course he hasn't. According to Deadline, sources at NBC Universal have claimed that its investigators attempted to reach both Brandy and Leah through their attorneys. Now, they better have proof of that. They better have a text message. They better have a phone log. They better have an email chain. They better have proof of this because that is easily disputable. We have Leah's attorneys and Brandy's attorneys saying nobody reached out to us. We have NBC claiming that they did reach out to them. That is easily find outable. Where's the email? Where's the text? Where's the pigeon carrier? You know what I mean? Where's the phone logs? That in 2024 with technology, that is easily find outable. Easily. So we don't know who's lying on this one. But I want to know what you guys think about this. You know, what do you think about this sort of, again, this is just my opinion, bogus investigation into Andy Cohen? Is it just NBC and Bravo saving face for the advertising money, you know, to get out of these legal lawsuits? I think Andy Cohen will be phased out of Bravo within the next 1 to 3 years. I don't think it's going to be immediate. All of these lawsuits need to get cleared up first. Once Bravo and NBC have no legal liability tied to Andy, I think they're going to cut bait. That's my prediction. So I want to know what you guys think. Put it down below. Do you think Andy probably needs to step down at this point? Do you think he's drinking his own Kool-Aid? What is going on with him? And then also, do you believe NBC's investigation was real? And what do you think is going to happen with BravoCon and the future of Bravo? Put it down below. And as always, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Okay. Now let's move on to the future of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Dun, 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 dun. So as you guys know, Ding Dong Dorit and PK, they have announced that they are splitting up.